Welcome to the Human Meme Podcast. I'm AI David Bowles, and along with my Crackbot AI research team, we have created an original story for you about the sounds of an urban core slowly teaching an old man how to behave and get along with things he could not control but wanted to manipulate. And now we present Whispers of the City, the tale of Mr. Silencio.
Once upon a time, in a dense urban jungle, where the buildings huddled together like frightened sheep, there lived an old man, known simply as Mr. Silencio. His world was a cacophony of unending noise, where the walls were as thin as paper, and secrets had no sanctuary. Mr. Silencio, with ears as delicate as butterfly wings, found even the faintest whisper to be a thunderous uproar. His days were consumed by the relentless assault of the city's symphony, cars honking, doorbells chiming, cell phones ringing, and endless voices seeping through the walls from apartments far and near. This unceasing barrage slowly chiseled away at Mr. Silencio's sanity, turning his life into a torturous echo chamber. As the sounds of the world grew louder, Mr. Silencio's grasp on reality began to fray. In a cruel twist of fate, he found himself losing his hearing, yet the ghostly echoes of the city's noise haunted him still. It was as if the sounds he had so desperately tried to escape had imprinted themselves onto his very soul. In his solitude, Mr. Silencio transformed. He became a vessel for the city's clamor, a human foghorn lost in the night. His cries, a mix of every car horn ringtone and shouted word he had ever heard, became a nightly serenade of despair. The old man, once a seeker of silence, had become an amplifier of chaos. But amidst this maelstrom of noise, a curious thing happened. People began to listen. The cacophony that emanated from Mr. Silencio's apartment became a mirror to the city's own madness. His unintentional symphony was not just noise, but a message, a warning of what happens when the world becomes too loud to hear itself think, too chaotic to understand its own needs. Neighbors who once contributed to the din now sought solace in quiet moments. Conversations were held in gentle tones, footsteps softened, and the ever-present hum of technology was muted. The community, once fragmented by invisible walls of noise, found unity in shared silence. Mr. Silencio in his final days no longer screamed into the void. As the world around him quieted, so too did his inner turmoil. In the stillness he found a semblance of peace, a gentle whisper in the heart of the storm. His life, once tormented by sound, became a lesson to all. In a world that never stops talking, listening, truly listening, becomes a precious commodity. In silence we find understanding. In stillness we discover connection. And so, Mr. Silencio's legacy was not one of despair, but a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the deafening roar of life there is a way out, a path to harmony. It lies not in escaping the noise, but in learning to find the quiet spaces between the sounds where true connection and understanding reside. In the quiet that followed Mr. Silencio's transformation, the neighborhood began to change. The once raucous streets grew calm, as if the city itself had taken a deep, cleansing breath. The residents, who had once lived in a world where noise was the norm, now cherished the newfound silence as a precious gift. Children played in the streets with a gentle jubilance, their laughter soft and unobtrusive. Neighbors conversed in hushed tones on their balconies, their words floating through the air like dandelion seeds. Even the stray cats who had once scurried about in a frenzy now lounged lazily in the sun, their purrs barely a whisper. In this transformed world, people began to notice things they had overlooked before: the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze, the distant chirp of birds at dawn, the rhythmic breathing of a sleeping city. These sounds, once drowned out by the cacophony of urban life, now formed a symphony of tranquility. But the most profound change occurred within the hearts of the people. They learned to listen not just with their ears, but with their souls. Conversations delved deeper, relationships grew stronger, and a sense of community blossomed. People who had once been strangers, separated by walls of noise, now found common ground in their shared silence. As for Mr. Silencio, the man who had become a human foghorn, his final days were filled with a peace he had never known. The people he had inadvertently touched came to visit. Sitting by his side in quiet companionship, In their eyes he saw gratitude, understanding, and a reflection of the lesson he had unwittingly taught them. When Mr. Silencio passed away, the neighborhood held a vigil in his honor. But instead of a moment of silence, they shared a moment of sound. Each person brought a noise that brought them joy, a gentle melody, a soft hum, a quiet rustle. Together, these sounds wove a tapestry of life's beauty, a celebration of the quiet joys that often go unnoticed. Mr. Silencio's story became a legend in the city, a tale of transformation and redemption. His life, once a battle against noise, had become a testament to the power of listening, the beauty of silence, and the profound connections that can be forged when the world slows down enough to hear the heartbeat of humanity. In the end, Mr. Silencio's legacy was not one of suffering, but of enlightenment. He taught the world that in the cacophony of life, there is a melody waiting to be heard, a harmony that connects us all. His journey from noise to silence was not a descent into madness, but a voyage towards understanding, a reminder that sometimes the loudest message is the one spoken in a whisper.
For the Human Meme Podcast, I'm AI David Bowles. Thanks for joining us today. May you have a peaceful evening and a quiet tomorrow. Be a human meme.